Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the contents which are present in module 4. Okay. So basically there are two different submodules in module 4. One is DC generator and then DC motor. So first we shall have a look at DC generator. So in DC generator, we will be studying about the introduction of a DC generator. Then we will look at the operation, principle of operation of DC generator. Then we will study about construction of DC machine. Then expression for induced EMF. Then different types of DC generators. And finally, we will understand about relation between induced EMF and terminal voltage. Okay. First, we shall understand what is DC generator. So, what is DC generator? See, as the name says, DC generator generates the electrical energy. So, we can also say a machine which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. We call it as DC generator. Okay, so any machine or a DC machine, if you consider, DC machine is nothing but a machine which converts one form of the energy into another form. So in that, you have one of the type would be a DC generator. And in future, we will study about DC motor. Okay. So if you have to look at your DC generator, then this is how it looks like, your DC generator. Okay, we'll understand about the operation of your DC gen or principle of operation of DC generator. So DC generator works on the principle of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. What is a Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction say? So whenever the flux linking with a coil changes or a conductor changes, an EMF is induced in the conductor or a coil. Okay. So with this principle, your DC generator works. Then we will look into the constructional features of DC machine. So here we come across yoke, poles, field winding, armature, commutator and brushes. These are the different parts of your DC machine. Okay. Any machine you consider, you have two parts. One is stator and then rotor. In DC machine, field system is in stator and conductors are in rotor. So, with the help of your brushes, we collect the current from the rotor. Okay, so this is how your DC machine works. Next, we will study about EMF equation of your DC generator, and before that, if you see here, we will have there are the different images of your commutator, all the parts of your DC machine, that is yoke, poles, field winding, commutator, and then brushes. Okay, so next we will study about the EMF equation of DC generator. So here we will obtain two equations pertaining to lap winding and wave winding. Okay, so the lap winding looks like this and wave winding looks like this. Okay, so we will obtain the equations, EMF equation on lap winding and wave winding, and we will also solve few problems on EMF equation of DC generator. And then, depending on how we connect the field system, we can classify your DC generators into different types. So mainly, it is classified into separately excited generator and self-excited generator. And again, self-excited generator can be classified into DC shunt generator, DC series generator, DC compound generator. Again, DC compound generator can be classified into cumulative compound and differential compound. So these two again can be subdivided into long shunt and short shunt. Okay. So if you look at the applications of your DC generator, these are basically for low voltage applications we use, mainly into your welding process or in the locomotives and ships, and even in the electric cars, remote control cars. Okay, and we will use it in flat screen TVs and in elevators and then railway circuits. Okay, and even in the industries, we will use DC generator. Okay, this is about DC generator. Next, we shall have a look at your DC motor. So what are we going to study in DC motor? So in DC motor, we will be studying about the basic understanding of DC motor, then the principle of operation of DC motor, and then torque equation of DC motor, and then we will have a look at types of DC motor, and then characteristics of DC motor and the applications of DC motor. Okay, so what is DC motor? Okay, so DC motor, so it is again one of the types of DC machine, wherein DC machine will convert one form of the energy into another form. Okay, whereas DC motor is a machine which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. So the output would be in the rotational form. Okay, in the motor. Okay, so the output would be in the rotational form. So this is how your DC motor looks like. Mm. In detail about DC motor we will discuss in the class. Okay, and before we get into the types of DC motor, so in this we will also discuss about your back EMF and its significance in the DC motor. So what is back EMF? So it is nothing but the EMF which is induced in the armature. Since it opposes the supply voltage, we call it as a back EMF. Okay, so we will also understand how we can control the speed okay, how we can control the speed of the DC motor. Okay, when we talk about the back EMF and its significance. Okay, we will also study when we discuss about your back EMF and its significance in detail about the speed control of DC motor. Hmm. So whenever this DC motor, it is a constant motor, we can say. We can say it is a constant speed motor. If you want to vary the speed, there will be loss in the efficiency. Okay, we can vary the speed of the DC motor, but there will be some loss in the efficiency. Okay, so okay, we will also discuss about these parameters, and then we will discuss about the torque derivation for the torque. Okay, and then finally we will discuss about the classifications of DC motor, that is your DC shunt motor, DC series motor, DC compound motors. And finally, we are going to touch on the applications of DC motor. That is even here, mainly our shunt motor, DC shunt motor, and then DC series motor. In shunt motors are used in lathe machines, machine tools, drilling machines, and even this can be used in blowers and fans. Okay, whereas series motors can be used in high starting torque, okay, variable speed drives, then cranes or elevators, trolleys, and conveyors. Okay, and much more applications are there. Each type of motor can be used in different segments, different applications. Okay, so with this, we are going to conclude. So in detail, we will study about DC generator and DC motor in your respective theory classes. Thank you.